Hi, I'm Gina, and this is Minnie.
And I'm JP, and this is Mikey.
And this is our handmade home.
In Atlanta, Georgia.
So when I was looking at houses, one of the things that was really important to me was that it was near the East Atlanta Village. I really wanted to stay in this neighborhood. But when I saw this one, I knew it had good bones. It had brick, hardwood floors, a full basement, a big yard. It was the least scary option that I saw.
When people walk into our house, I really want them to have a wow factor. And I want them to look around and just be in amazement for a minute and have to gaze upon all of the things here because we've curated so many pieces.
So I'm an interior designer for Home Depot. I work on the catalog. So my job is pulling products together that we're going to then shoot in the catalog photography. I get accused all the time of making it too busy, but in my house, I can put patterns wherever I want.
My side hustle is antiques and vintage collectibles.
So since both of us work in the creative field, it's just natural for us to want to have like an experimental, fun, creative home. Our house is very unassuming from the outside, and then when you come in, and you're not expecting to see all this pattern and color, and people really have that explosion, you know, like, whoa, I wasn't expecting. Okay, this is our kitchen where we love to entertain. This is like where all of our patterns kind of come together. We have green cabinets. We also have curtains that I made to go with the cabinets that have like a mod print to bring in the green. And then this is our collection of vintage glassware.
So I started collecting barware at least in the last 15 to 20 years. And I mean, it's really an easy thing to find at estate sales. You can find some pretty unique ones at times. I mean, this one, for example, I do love. This is a Georgia own. These are peanut quartet. There's so many interesting things you could find through glassware, honestly.
So when we were designing the kitchen, we had like a makeshift kitchen here for a while, and anytime we would entertain, people would just kind of congregate in this area. So we knew that we wanted to make this like the bar area. We knew we wanted to do the black and white floor, and I thought it would be a nice complement to do a white and black tile backsplash. So we actually got these two tiles from two different companies because this one didn't make white with black and this one didn't make black with white. But we decided to do the tile all the way to the ceiling to create kind of a focal point behind all of the glassware. We really wanted that view from the front door looking into the kitchen to have that wow. So that's why we went with this really, really busy pattern on the island, just as that little bit of icing on the cake.
So the green cabinets I actually recovered from a demolition of a home. They told me that they were just gonna throw them away. I kind of freaked out. So the dumpster showed up to the house coincidentally. I was driving around looking for yard sales and I saw the dumpster back into the driveway and I pulled right in and asked, what's going on with the kitchen? And they were like, it's going in the dumpster. So I immediately was like, nope, let me please take this out. And they said, okay. So we were able to pull it all out and we stored it for a minute and waited for the right time to get it into the house.
My reaction to the cabinets at first was, no, not green. He really had to kind of talk me into it. But when we started laying out the space for the kitchen, they fit perfectly. I think we ended up using every single piece that you brought home that day. When we got to do the lights for this room, we were looking at all different kinds of chandeliers and I knew I wanted something really big, but we decided that it would be nice to do a collection of chandeliers since we have a collection of everything else. And all three of these were made by the same person in Palm Springs, and we had them do three totally different ones for us so that we could cluster them together to create one big piece. So the tattoo on my arm is a George Nelson clock. I've always been a fan of the story of the George Nelson clock. All the designers got together and drank a bunch of tequila, and the next day no one really knew who designed the clock. We actually have the George Nelson clock over here along with lots of other clocks. What are these, 50s to 70s?
Yes.
This clock is all about the zodiac, so it's got like all the different zodiac signs. Some of the little ones are more from the 50s. This one came out of my dad's house.
Is this collection complete?
Never.
There's a little room here. Yeah.
I might have a message out on Marketplace for one right now. So our favorite place to entertain in our house is our backyard because we have the best patio. Let me show you. So come on out.
We wanted a space with a hot tub. JP always wanted a sunken hot tub. And we wanted to create a space that had a little bit of privacy but didn't completely block the view because we get lots of deer in the backyard here and the trees are really beautiful. So we decided to go with this like triangular shape, which partially blocks the neighbors. And then we added a bar.
I mean, we are living our best Palm Spring life here.
Normally when we entertain, we keep that door open and this whole patio will be full of people and people just go in and out.
So we have a nice vintage sign back here that actually is a bit of Atlanta history. This is from the Stories 85 Twin Drive-In, and this actually was the sign that stood above the highway.
All of the furniture out here, we have several pieces of fiberglass. When he got this one, the fiberglass was actually like poking out and he had to actually like finish it. The tiki torches are also vintage. JP had those in the attic for years and we finally pulled them out for a party and then forgot to light them.
We're in the radio room now. So we call it because obviously we've got a wall of radios here. I've been collecting radios for well over 20 years now. It's kind of my first thing I ever collected. They're just so unique and individual. I think it's beyond what we do today as far as entertainment. They're all a piece of art. So yeah, this is probably one of the greatest, even though this is just a 70s little AM Panasonic. But just, I mean, look at where we've come from, you know. Even, I mean, the comparison of any of this to this is so crazy. I mean, we just went everywhere with the design of radio.
I've had to give him space requirements. Like, you get this wall of radios. If you want to keep something, you have to let something go.
We call it upgrading here.
He's always trying to sneak in a new shelf. What if I put a shelf above the window? He's even started adding tiny ones to the cabinets.
Oh, here's one of the best. Actually, I bought this for Gina when we first started dating, even though it was really for me. Who are we kidding?
I know, right? It was like my first birthday gift from him. I'm like,
But look, it's like a miniature
no,
version.
this is a retro,
of,
but still.
Look, it has like a little record and everything. Why don't we design things like this anymore?
And we also have to talk about your bar.
Oh yeah, so this was a roadside find here, literally just in someone's trash. And I saw the purpose that it could do in another life. This is also another cheap find. I didn't even know if it worked, but I just thought it had such a classic look to it. Did a little touch up on it and powered it up and it worked just fine. Now it's our main source of entertainment. I've actually got it powered up throughout the house and it's actually generating other antique speakers such as the one behind Gina. It's been really just a focal point of our house.
So this is our living room. Obviously one of our favorite pieces is the sofa. JP had this sofa when I met him. The cushions on it were disintegrating. The foam had diminished so much that they were like an inch thin and they were wrapped in plastic bags to keep them from like shedding. So I tried to get a quote to have cushions made and it was astronomical. So I just decided to do it myself. And I watched some YouTube tutorials and I picked up a book on upholstery and I remade all of the cushions and the pillows for this couch along with the curtains that you see here. I think every home needs original artwork, be it made by yourself, made by your kids, friends, bought at local fairs. I work in the world of mass-produced artwork, and I love going into a home and seeing something super original. So my aunt painted this in 1975, which is the year I was born. And then when I turned 18, after having every Christmas photo of me taken in front of this painting my whole life, my uncle gave it to me.
These two sconces are actually part of my collection from really early on. I just was so excited to find these. Anytime I can find any sort of adjustable lamps, I will buy them up. I do have a little bit of an obsession with mid-century lighting. So yeah, so it actually will slide up and
they have weights on them
yeah,
that
have weights
back
on them,
down.
I love these chairs. I might have drove 2 hours for them just because I think she only wanted $60 for the pair.
Yeah, you can see the Alexander Calder mobiles in the pattern, which is kind of awesome. And then these Joan Miro sort of suns in the background. And we have the black and white exactly throughout. Our favorite paint color combo is definitely black and white.
Definitely black and white.
We have a black and white parade crew called the Crew of Optical Delusions, where we all dress in black and white stripes, and we try to use black and white as often as possible in our house. Or white and black. White with black, black with white. It comes in so many forms.
Even your dog.
Even the
I
dog
know.
is black and
We're
white.
all on brand here.
Well, one of the boldest ways we've used black and white in our house is definitely the hallway. The hallway was kind of an uninviting place, really. We were, trying to figure out what we could do, and we just wanted to do something that made it a little more eye-catching. So this is all hand done. We spent about a weekend. It was really a lot of fun.
We knew that we didn't want it to be full pattern everywhere. We definitely wanted some breaks. So you see the pattern kind of jump up and go over the attic door, and then you don't see any paint for a little while. My favorite part of this room is that we decided to continue the mural into the doorway. So when you walk in our front door and you kind of look this direction, you really catch this edge of the painted wall, and it's sort of like, what's happening back there? We really like to maximize on the creativity in our house, so we even swapped out all of the light switch plates. I think every room has a different light switch plate.
Yeah, I went ahead and decided I wanted a very 50s starburst look in our bathroom, and wallpaper really doesn't go well in bathrooms due to moisture. So I decided I could hand paint something like that. So I came up with this simple little starburst idea and went from 1 to 4 into 400.
He did all of those little starbursts with a ruler and a paint pen.
It took about a weekend and then another 2.5 years to actually complete it.
So I think our favorite piece in the home, or mine, is the Jean-Pierre Renau that's hanging over our toilet. We went to Scott's Antique Market one Saturday, and we were looking for something that we could use as a countertop temporarily, and we found this piece, and it's like ceramic tile and grouted, and it was exactly the right size. We asked the guy how much it was, and he says $25. We're like, perfect, we'll take it. And as we're putting it in the car, we realized that there's Sotheby's stickers on the back of it. So we reached out to Sotheby's, and they said it's an original artwork from 1974, and that they would guarantee us $5,000 or more if we would sell it with them.
Ironically, it is above our toilet now, which is funny because it is the most expensive piece of art we have in our home.
So this is our primary bedroom. JP had these amazing barcloth curtains. Our bedside table lamps are just the coolest lamps I've ever seen. I've never seen anything else like these.
This is a piece I framed myself, and you can see there's a double mat on it of pink and orange. I really like the set of mat that I did here with the narrow sides and the wide top and wider bottom. It's a very mid-century style. Well, I've been picture framing for almost 27 years now, so framing has become part of the house because we collect art.
I love so much what we've done with this home. It's so beautiful, and people love this house so much. It's a very special house. We'll probably never sell it. If you like this video,
give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Handmade
for more home tours like this.